Hello Interior UK, I'm Carly Madhvani from NW3 Interiors. Welcome to my project in Sevenoaks. Let me show you around. The client asked me to design a family home in a country setting. The style was to be a blend of a touch traditional along with modern, iconic, contemporary and cosy. Quite a balance to achieve there. Here we are in the entrance hallway. Initially, before it was purchased by the owners, it was quite a low ceiling. We pushed that back with the architect and made this huge double atrium ceiling height. This light is 6 meters long, and rather than having a glass chandelier, I opted for this porcelain petal flower, which is really pretty. As you can see, there's 80 petals that go all the way up, and as you walk up the stairs, the glow of the light shines throughout each level of the flooring. I've enjoyed the role of being the interior architect for this project too, which is new for me over and above the interior design. Having that responsibility meant that I had the opportunity to take design decisions, for example, to create archways rather than straight doors. What I found this did was to have curves and more of an organic shape, which really cut through the lines. This art and the picture lights with the consoles give it that mirrored entrance, which I thought really connected well with this archway entrance through to the dining space. Carrying on the theme of having curves within the design to balance out from the strong linear lines, I specified these dining chairs, which have a long, rounded back. Also really comfortable and great for your elbows to sit for a long time when you're entertaining. The light is handmade and has baubles of glass which reflect the bulbs which are positioned internally. Stunning. In this space, I really found that my design ethos of a third pattern, a third plane and a third textured is highlighted throughout the floor, the rug and then the table. The floor is a textured walnut which also has a grey browny tone. It was a bespoke colour. I had the mood board materials all put together and then ensured that all of these colour blends kept in the same kind of tone. I find this in design to have like a blend that they're slightly apart but all aesthetically come from the same kind of colour palette. We chose to include doors between the dining space and the kitchen beyond through to this lounge area, and that was so that they could have some privacy from the adults through to the teenagers. Smart thinking. This kind of in-between space we filled with this piano, which is self-playing. Even though the children do play, they felt like on Christmas Day it would be incredible for this to be able to play itself whilst they eat Christmas lunch. What a lovely idea. The light above is so stunning. It's fluted, it includes the circle, and then with this kind of branch, which I felt brought the outdoors in, which I've done in quite a few other areas as well. I was really glad that the client was on board with that piece. It's handmade in the UK, which is something that we try to achieve wherever we can. This is a formal lounge where I'll be entertaining, having cocktails, enjoying interesting conversation. It's quite intimate and we considered a few different layouts, including a corner sofa, a big U-shaped sofa. We originally actually even thought about having this lounge as kind of sunken. A light feature, again with the circles, to kind of cut through the lines in bronze, and all the lights are dimmable, which is really important for atmosphere, I find. It really does look quite contemporary with all this other furniture. What I tried to achieve here is to have the balance of neutral, so they can add colour later if they choose to, a balance between plain and pattern and the texture. And again, using that idea of a third. You would not believe how long it took to get the proportion and the ratios perfect, we feel, between the wall panels, the coving and the ceiling panels. It really is a lot of work to get that detail all perfectly connected, and I feel like we've really achieved that here. I absolutely love this kitchen. It's really large, it's 5 meters by 5 meters, and I would love to be cooking here. It took us many hours, showroom visits, revisions, technical drawings, thoughts and considerations for material types, how to blend them, and it was worth every minute. One of those ideas that we had to decide upon was this back wall. I really felt it was important because it could be seen from the other lounge and the dining room, and I didn't want it to be lost in kitchen cabinetry. Rather than have the storage there, which was confirmed to the client that they didn't need, we decided to put real marble and actually chose the slab together. This kitchen all has brass metal details, whereas the other spaces had bronze. And we chose to do that because this is a kind of lighter family living space, so we mixed up the metals. The marble continues onto this top tier of the island. This lower level has got a more practical material. It's Caesar stone, which was cut out to have this hob inside, where the extractor fan is in the centre that pulls the air out to the side of the house, because we decided to not have one above. And instead we could have this feature of this statement light, which is beautiful, handmade and designed by a female designer, which I try to include wherever I can. The flow around this iconic dining table, designed in 1956 by Saarinen, is the ideal piece to have family get-togethers here. All of the windows make this a really enjoyable space. It's so warm, and this rug just brings a lot of coziness. And we specified this fabric with extra comfort so that you can have this kind of intimate family and friends, enjoyable, open plan space that makes a lot of sense, again with the kind of figure-of-8 flow throughout. We're now in the office where we have his and her desk. For me, I would have had a different layout in here. I'd suggested storage behind with a desk in front, opposite the fireplace, with a chair in the corner. But as a designer, I need to really listen intently and to deliver what it is the client most prefers. The bespoke joinery is walnut. It's made by a local firm. It's perfect in here. I added horn detailing on the handles. I remembered these from some years ago and just really felt it would elevate it and give it more of a kind of executive feel. The art the client loves, chosen to have a pop of colour in here. And underneath is this fireplace, which is in the original chimney, and we had to make sure that for my idea, to be able to see it through from the other side, there's a lot of technical details that go into that. The builder was brilliant. We collaborated on this and many other design features to ensure that it met everything that it needed to, and we could ultimately have what we wanted and needed, which was to have this fabulous feature in 2 rooms. On the other side of the fireplace is this snug. It really feels different in here. It's super soft. I think it's the carpet, the way that it goes all the way to the edge of the walls rather than a rug. It just really brings like an element of relax and instant calm. The light feature as well, completely different to the other rooms. This kind of fabric mesh all together, which is a female designer too, that I found at a trade show actually. This huge sofa is really squidgy, which I really wanted for them to be able to relax and watch the TV. This was also specified to Lewis Capaldi last year. We love that guy. He really enjoys this sofa. The contrast of materials, we've got a chestnut coffee table mixed with marble, marble side table, marble on the credenza at the end also, an iconic chair in really soft fabric. The marbles are a warm tone of the Calacatta type rather than that kind of grey veining of Arabescato. We chose a natural colour for the cushions and included that in the artwork just to connect all of these new colour blends together. Look at this, the most beautiful wallpaper in the world, designed over the door that continues with a branch to bring the outdoors in. This wallpaper is hand painted on silk. Some flowers are hand embroidered as well. So it really gives you that gorgeous colour tone, different from paint. Really quite an incredible feature. Again, I've kind of created a figure of 8 and placed the bed centrally so that the view of the garden can be seen. It's quite a decision. To have that bed central, it needed to have electric that went under the floor. So that was something that we talked to the builders about early on to make sure that that was possible, to have like your phones charged or any lighting. I positioned the pendant lights off the bedside tables because the client was keen to have space for their books. These delicate, pretty, female designed lights really do work well here and create a lovely glow. And this room extends into this additional area that leads out onto a large terrace balcony. We have a his and her dressing room. Let me take you through this one, as there's a really big treat the other side. And behind these doors is the most incredible ensuite I've ever worked on. The wooden panels, which is quite brave in a bathroom, have been double coated with varnish, and the wallpaper. It's got these blues and greens and yellows. It's really kind of spring-like, super gorgeous in a bathroom. I get my design inspiration from a variety of places, the usual hotspots like Instagram, Pinterest, magazines, but I also find a lot of like colour combinations in nature and visiting lovely hotels or like by the seaside. But it's really kind of the key part is having an awareness of a passion of design, and actually it's surprising where it is you can find the inspiration because they can be hidden in the most unusual of places. You can never do enough planning for designing a space. One package that I've been using recently is called Floor Planner. You can create the layout, think about your flow, and make sure that all of the pieces work perfectly. You can find us on our website, NW3InteriorsLimited.com, where you can see our latest projects and portfolio. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest.